Want thrust reversing on your B2 or any other dual-motored electric model?
So hey guys, as soon as I saw that the B2 was available again on Freewing, that day there was one left, and yes, I had to do it. I wanted to purchase that B2 and I got it, and after flying the A10 from E-flite and the thrust reversing that it had, the first thing I wanted to do was make my jet have thrust reverse. So I went to Horizon Hobby, I bought myself two 70 amp light ESCs that had reversing. The jet came with 60 amp, so I made sure I was going to cover that with a 70 amp. And I installed it just like I did with the A10, put thrust reversing on each one of the ESCs, hooked it all up, thought I had everything right, and one engine went forward, the other went in reverse. And then I got on the horn with Horizon Hobby 3 times, and the third time they told me I couldn't do it, that it was not set up that way. The A10 has a special ESC where both of them are plugged into one, and that this could not be done with my jet. Well, that's when I took a step back and got to work with some of my guys here at the RRC Club, and they informed me what I could do, and I tried a few things and I got it to work, and we're going to show you how. So hey guys, the first thing you want to do when you get your ESCs, you want to program each one individually. Once you plug in your ESC, set them up, first thing you're going to do is make sure that you're in reversing. Second thing you want to make sure is the rotation. It's either counterclockwise or clockwise, depending upon your motor. Keep in mind that one motor does turn the opposite direction of the other. And third thing is what channel you want to set up reversing on. First thing we're going to do is put thrust reverse on channel 7. I go down to my system setup. Go down to channel assignment, and my channel 7 aux 2 is on my G switch. Next, what we need to do is set up a mixing. So on the mix, all this is already programmed in. You want to go to mix 1, and you're going to make sure you're on your AX2, and then throttle. And since I'm on my curve 0, the rate and offset are all set at 0, curve 0, switch, make sure it's a G, and the 0 is the highlighted one in black. And then when I flip this to curve 1, it highlights the 1. Again, your offset and rates are 0. And now curve 3, number 2 is highlighted in black, still on switch G, offset negative 100%, and your rates are both 100%.
So that was it for the mixing part of the agenda. I also wanted to point out you need to go to your digital switch setup, whichever switch you use for reversing, and set it like this.
The Freewing jet comes with the BEC. You can just go ahead and remove it because the ESCs that you get from Horizon already have a BEC included. You're going to use a wide connector for your battery, connecting the battery to 2 ESCs. You're going to leave one connected, and your lead for the throttle, you'll leave that one connected as well. And what you want to do is you want to power up one ESC at a time to make sure the motor is running in the direction you want it to run. And your reversing is also going in the direction that you want it to go. Next thing you want to do on the second ESC, since it does have a BEC included, you got to remove the center wire. That would be the red wire. And then you can just use some heat shrink tubing and cover it up. We're going to show you how to program your ESC. The radio's on. We're going to connect the one ESC at a time.
Light pack 50.5 volts.
Go into our Avian program menu. And flight mode is fixed wing. Brake type you want to make sure is reverse.
23.0 volts.
Brake force is at 0. Motor rotation, I have counter
Regular clockwise.
clockwise.
It'll depend on your motor and which side you're doing, which way the motor spins, so pay close attention to that.
23.0 volts.
And I like to use my thrust reverse on my channel 7.
Can be any channel you choose. Just don't put it on your aileron channel. Once you have it where you like it, exit with
Exit
safe.
Light pack 23.
Hold the plane, give a quick test.
Throttle cut off. Normal mode.
Braking.
Braking. And then max braking. There you go. So once you set up your one ESC, you're going to want to do the exact duplicate for the second ESC. Just keep in mind when you go through your setup, make sure that you're going either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending upon which way your motor's turning. So keep an eye on that. These are counter-rotating turbines.
In the B2. Counter-rotating machines. It's awesome.
Using a wire harness here to connect both the ESCs to one battery. It's not a smart, so I had to hardwire this in to get my voltage readout. I'm using the receiver. It's a 6610T, and that way I get my battery voltage. If you use a smart receiver, you will not get the feedback that you want. So I had to go with a different receiver where I could hardwire my voltage in, and that's how I took care of that. So after you've set up your EDFs and the ESCs and your radio set up, the first thing you want to do is just power up one ESC that has the 3-wire connection. So I've disconnected the ESC on the right motor, and I left the left one powered up along with the throttle cable. So all I do is power up the first one first. Let the first ESC start beeping. Then I power up the second one. But first I connect the throttle lead. You notice this is the one that doesn't have the 3 wires connected. You'll remove the center one on the second ESC. Dark to dark.
Light pack 23.5 volts.
And that's it. Up elevator, down elevator, right aileron, left aileron, left
Rudder.
rudder, and right rudder. Now if you're cruising down the runway after you land, take brake. And all the way up, max brake. So So braking with throttle and then normal mode.
Well, there it is. That's how we got dual spectrum ESCs working on reversing in the B2. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments.